How are you enjoying the sweetness of life? Yesterday, I had an interesting experience happen, and it showed me so many things. And that's really the key. When things are happening around you, maybe there's some chaos, some drama, some turbulence, which living on this planet right now, there seems to be quite a bit of that. But how in that space are you able to observe and feel your feelings? How are you able in that space to make choices to put your frequency first? So yesterday we were woke up by a phone call and we needed to get a neighbor here to the hospital. So I'm here with my mom and she was, getting dressed and everything. And in that moment, there would have been a part of me in the past that would have not even stopped and took a breath and just would have started to get dressed and rushed to help and take the neighbor to the hospital with her. But I took this breath and I felt how I was feeling, and I could sense that it was actually best for me to stay behind. I did ask my mom, "How are you feeling? Do you need me to go with you?" She says, "No, I got it." And it was in that moment came another choice point. How was I going to put my frequency first in this moment for the most loving thing for me? These small choices that we make in every second, moving moment to moment of putting our frequency and our feelings first. So I was guided in that morning to continue on to have a peaceful morning here while she handled that. And again, I can see the reflection in the past, how I might have chosen differently. Maybe I would have sat in worry and angst. Maybe I would have immediately jumped in to do things in the house to support my mom so she knew that I loved her, because that's something I would have done in the past. But instead, I got my coffee and I came out here in the garden and I sat on the patio and the sun was just glorious. And I looked and all the flowers were blooming. And I was like, man, this is an amazing morning. Now, thoughts might tell you in these situations, what are you talking about, an amazing morning? There's a disaster happening. There's chaos. There's all these things happening. But in that moment, I was looking out and I was actually kind of reflecting too, as I was feeling more and more peaceful about our message for this week. And at that very moment, I said, "Spirit, please show me the message for this week." And a hummingbird came. It's the first one I've seen in the yard, flew right by me and landed in these beautiful flowers next to me and was enjoying the sweetness of life. And it was in that moment I knew that's what this week is about. That's what, not just this week, but this week's message, but how are we enjoying the sweetness of life amidst all the chaos? How are we able to sit and still find peace and joy when things can seem like they're kind of spinning out of control sometimes? As I sat out here more and reflected, and I watched that hummingbird, inspiration for all sorts of things for me started flowing through, and I started to write, and I got another cup of coffee, and I enjoyed snuggling with my mom's dog and seeing all of the beauty out here in the garden. And again, there's those moments where your mind goes, how is this possible when I know all this stuff is happening? And what became clear throughout the day, by making these small choices from moment to moment on what was loving to me, I realized that just like the hummingbird getting the nectar, enjoying the sweetness of life, That by me enjoying the sweetness of life out here and connecting with nature, which is my medicine, that I was filling my cup, just like the hummingbird was filling its body. And that it was in that moment that I was grounded, clear, peaceful, in love, in joy, that I could better hear the guidance on how I might serve in this situation and help others. Because, the event of just going to the hospital didn't stop there. There was other things that throughout the day that were going to need attention by someone. And I was able to hear my guidance on, I will say, Spirit, please use me today. Please show me how to serve others. That I was in such alignment that I was able to hear the guidance and feel the feelings and be able to connect to the neighbors, connect to my mom, to support them in this moment. And I don't feel that I would have been able to do that had I not came out here and become really present, connected to my heart, connected to nature, connected to the joy. And I was falling asleep last night and I was reflecting on the day, on how Spirit really used me and my strengths, my gifts, to help love and support those around me. And it makes me kind of reflect over my life on how I acted in the past from a different place. And that's not a judgment. And I just heard another hummingbird just flew by my head. That I was acting from a place of here on what I thought everyone's needs were, or what they needed, or what I thought I would need in that moment, and would act from giving from that place. And that's not a judgment on my past self. It's an observation. And knowing in those moments I was doing the best I could. And it's not to say that I didn't help and serve people in that way. But as we are moving through summer here and the details and Virgo season with these small degrees of adjustment, that little choice to stay back and come out here and enjoy nature made all the difference in the rest of my day. And hopefully made a positive, loving impact on those around me. So when we are being called to serve and to help, or maybe you have this burning desire to just, you see the world being so turned upside right now, and you want to help. Where is that inspired action coming from? Is it from the action of should and react? Or is it coming from a centered, loving place that honors your heart, the guiding forces of the universe, and from love? I often, when I talk to people, they want to help so much, and we all do. Many of us who walk this path would even consider ourselves healers, or you might call yourself a healer. How are you healing your insides and connecting to your insides and allowing yourself to experience wonder, play, and joy in the chaos? How are you filling up your cup and choosing your frequency first so that you can go out and serve others? And also knowing that it's not just about Let me heal myself so I can try to help others to heal. But literally putting that inner child first, your soul, your heart, your feelings first, so that you can shine your light. Everything in nature goes through a cycle. That's what in season's about. How we move through the seasons of reflection, wisdom, birth, wild growth. How are you sharing your joy with others? If you don't make the time to connect to the sweetness and the joy and the passion and the love of life for yourself. Our outside world, I feel, is a reflection of the neglect of our insides. And as we start to heal our insides, like many of you are doing, and really focusing and growing and expanding and observing and becoming wise, getting clear and having the peace, it is that energy within you that helps heal the world. We're all called to serve in different ways. Some of us may sit back, like I did yesterday. And then when my mom came home exhausted, I was able to be in a space to be calm and grounded and love her and love my neighbor's wife and help take care of her a little bit. Some of us might be the ones, like my mom, to be the person who rushes to the hospital. That's how Spirit used her that day. We all have different roles in the healing. But the one thing that stays the same is, where are you shining from? Where are you acting from? Here? Shoulds, conditionings, I ought to, obligations? Or here? I sense during this week as we move forward that you may be given choices. And they may seem small. Sometimes these are the most important ones, because those are the ones we go, well, it might not make a difference. You know, I was talking to a friend and she was pulling cards on a situation and I was pulling cards on another situation. And the cards said, no matter which way you go, looks good. Like, you can't make a mistake. That's what the cards are saying. But then it was that wisdom of healing. And what the cards also ask is, which one feels good to you? Then in my situation, there was extreme contrast between the two choices. One felt really draining, out of obligation. What will people think of me? And one came from a place of, I will feel more empowered, more relaxed, more love for myself. I'll be able to use my special gifts that I have in a different way that will serve this situation. Either outcome seemed fine, but the difference was which one filled me up, which one connected to my heart, which one connected to love. Because with a full cup, that's where the light is able to shine out. It's so interesting. There are so many things, little animals and creatures kind of flying around. There's a dragonfly. We've had dragonflies, hummingbirds, a white moth, bumblebees, and I even had a quail run out of a bush. So if you're like me, maybe some of those animals there will have a significant spiritual meaning for you, like a spirit guide. So that's where we'll wrap up with the joy and the playing of all these gifts that are around me today. How will you enjoy the sweetness of life? Not just this week, but moving forward and always. We're making giant shifts right now energetically. I feel, there's another quail. I feel and I believe that the more we focus on these things, whatever that is for you, the joy, that we are aligning more and more with our intentions and manifestations, because this puts us in a higher vibration of receiving. It aligns us more with the season of harvest and with the vibration of love and gratitude. It also really connects us to living an authentic life and our own authenticity. Because when we are loving ourselves, truly hearing our needs, walking our path of love and heart, that we are at our highest calling, our highest vibration, and putting our frequency first. I hope you guys have a great week. Why don't you share in the comments below on where you've been finding joy? It can be really helpful to share your joy with others, to say and honor yourself and how you might be experiencing the sweetness. Because, it just hit me as I was saying that, is like, when we're in this place of joy and putting our frequency first, that's when the synchronicities really start to happen, because you're up here, right? And you're just like feeling all of it. And those synchronicities come through, and then you're hearing more of the universal language. So along with noting how you're experiencing and connecting to joy and honoring yourself this week, maybe share some of your synchronicities. I always love to hear about them. And I mean, miracles, hearing about everyone's miracles, that's just fun. So I will see you next week. Bye-bye.